Alright, this video is on polynomial long division or dividing quadratics. Um, you'll always see a problem like this, and then we'll set it up as a long division problem. So it's x to the fourth minus 3x cubed plus 3x squared minus 3x plus 4. And a question I got was divided by x squared plus 2. And a question I got is, what do you do when you have no x term here? So you see we just have x squared plus 0x plus 2. And this would apply to the numerator as well. But we're going to set this up as a long division problem, so I already had and wrote that out here. And we're going to include the 0x here. See, there's no 0x there, but that's what you'll include to kind of keep the place. And you'll see how that works out. And the same thing would be here. If we didn't have, say, an x squared term, it'd be 0x squared. But we do, so let's work with this. Okay. So the first thing we do is say, how many times does x squared go into x to the fourth? Well, it goes in x squared times. So we want to get a matching term. We want to match the first term. So we want this, when we're going to multiply this through, and we want to say, hey, what do we have to multiply this to get exactly this? Well, it's x squared. So then the next thing you do is multiply this x squared through this. So we'll get x to the fourth, and you put that just right below, and then plus 0x, so that's just minus 0x to the third. That's just a placeholder. We're just leaving this this here, and then plus 2x times x squared, so that's plus 2x squared. Okay, so the next thing we do is subtract these, so I put parentheses around and say subtract. And we're going to get x to the fourth minus x to the fourth, so you just do it in a vertical line. X to the fourth minus x to the fourth is 0. And then minus 3x cubed minus 0 3x cubed, well, that's plus 0x cubed, so that's just still minus 3x cubed, or cubed, like this. Here, I'm going to put in a line just to make that look a little better. Okay. So minus 3x cubed, and then we'll do plus 3x squared minus, that you distribute the minus, so minus 2x squared. So that's plus x squared. Okay, and now you bring down the others, and you know, here we can, just like we did the placeholder 0x, you can write placeholders here, so that's minus 0x minus 0, right? Or whatever you want to do. You don't actually need it. It's just a placeholder. But essentially that's what we're doing, because we're going to bring these down. You know, we're going to do minus 3x minus 0. So we get minus 3x plus 4. So bringing those down. And again, just like we did x to the fourth minus x to the fourth, or minus 3x cubed minus 0 3x cubed, you could write minus 0x plus 0 or plus 0x, right? It doesn't matter when it's 0. So you can put those placeholders in if you want. They're completely optional, but what you have to know is you're going to bring these down, the ones you didn't use. So now we have this new polynomial. Why don't we and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to ask, what do we have to multiply x squared by to get minus 3x cubed? So obviously it'll be minus 3x, right? Minus 3x times x squared is minus 3x cubed. Okay, so let's do this. So, I'm just going to get rid of that for now so we can line this up. So we have 3x cubed and then minus 3x times 0x. Well, that's just minus 0x squared, right, which is 0. This is just a placeholder so that we can see what we're doing there. And then minus 3x times 2 is minus 6x. Minus 6x. And again, we have this 4 here, and there's no last term. So if you want, just do plus 0 to keep a placeholder if it makes more sense to you. If not, don't worry about it. So again, we're going to subtract this one from this one. So put a minus in front. So 3x squared minus 3x, that is 0, which is what we want. And then x squared minus 0x squared, well, that's still plus x squared. And then minus 3x, and then we're doing minus 6x, so that's plus 6x, so we get plus 3x. And again, you know, if you want this plus 0 here, it's 4 minus 0, so that's plus 4. Okay. And I'll put a line there again to separate it like you did with the last one. Okay. So now, looks like we have one more to do. So what times x squared is x squared? Well, that's just plus 1. So 1 times x squared equals x squared, and we want those to cancel. So I'll get rid of the 0 again this time. And we get 1 times x squared is x squared. Oh, x squared. 1 times 0x is plus 0x. And then plus 2. And we subtract these again. So you can, if you don't like write, if you want to keep it lined up and pretty, you know, you don't have to write like I did with this subtraction. I just like to remember that's what we're doing. So we're putting this whole subtraction in, subtract the whole thing. So x squared minus x squared, we get 0. We put in our line. All right, you get 0, which is what we wanted. 3x minus 0x, that's plus 3x still. And then 4 minus 2 is plus 2. So we have a remainder. As you can see, x squared won't go into x. We have a remainder of 3x plus 2. And the way we write the answer to this is we take their answer up top here. Let me get that in the view. And we write 3x squared minus 3x. And then with the remainder, we do plus our remainder 3x plus 2 over our divisor x squared plus 2. I hit caps lock, x squared plus 2. So that should be our final answer. And let's see, correct answer. Is that right? X squared minus 3x plus 1 plus 3x plus 2 over x squared plus 2. And let me give you a quick rationale for this final term. Again, and feel free to pause this video and copy this all down and try it on your own and make sure you get this. But let me give you a quick rationale for that last term. So let's say I did 8 divided by 17. Let's do this. Well, 8 goes into 17 2 times, right? You do 2 times 8, you get 16. Subtract those 2, right? We put, just like we're putting the minus in front, you know, minus 16, you get 1, right? So if we were to write, so we have 8 divides 17 twice with a remainder of 1. And what that actually means is that you have, so let's write the fraction, 17 over 8. So that is 2 1/8. That's the same, right? It divides twice and a remainder is 1/8. So that's what this is. Our remainder is 1. So we write the remainder as 2 plus 1/8, which is exactly what we did here. We did the remainder, 1, which is 3x plus 2, divided by the divisor, which is this, or 8. So it's this one plus the remainder over the divisor. And that's exactly what's going on here, is that the remainder is 1/8. So it doesn't look as pretty, but the remainder here is, 3x plus 2 over x squared plus 2. Right? It's just a part. It's just a part of what could be divided. So that's the rationale for that, and that's why you have this term if you didn't know where that came from. So I hope this helped. Please email me or call me if you need any more help at all.